now it's 3 phones. You just know the phone that you use. So there's people that own phones in the world but don't own toothbrushes. How? Documentality is the word that Phil Tavares gave to his ontology of traces, but it's also a great word for the extent to which day-to-day life in a society happens as documentation. In a society of high documentality, nearly every transaction, click, step, every memory, everything said or done is vulnerable to recording or simply comes into the world already pre-remembered. Not as an ephemeral oral exchange or a haphazard note, but as a high-fidelity, time-signature catalog artifact. In such a way, it shouldn't be surprising if it starts to feel like there are more things you said than things you could say, more ways things have been than ways things could be. The future isn't used. Complete documentation here. As I've mentioned before, our estimates of the current human population have about a 2 to 3% margin of error. That means that about this many people may or may not exist. And at any given moment, that's why India is in the process of in 2027, the 7 India census, 16 India census is expected within 2 phases. Consequently, down to 26 in a population duration phase of March 2027. They don't know how to, but India doesn't know how to do this. You can do like raw estimates of like where that population I think they're probably 1.4 billion people estimated to be there, but that number will be off by like tens of millions. Only in the U.S. alone, there are about 40,000 deceased lives whose identities are unknown. When Steve Fawcett failed to return to the setting to search and rescue efforts to find him, discovered 8 previously unidentified airplane crashes that weren't him, but had been out there for, in some cases, decades. And when authorities searched for Gabby Petito, they found her and the bodies of at least 8 other people they weren't even looking for. We are not a documented species. We are a bunch of animals walking in and out of rooms. That said, some things changed. The last nobody went looking for them. Like, how are they? I don't understand how they're undocumented individuals. They're people who have just died, maybe looked for a month and then forgotten about, and they weren't able to identify who the fuck they were. Time of bodies interred in the tomb of the unknown soldier was after the Vietnam War, but it was removed in 1998 after DNA testing connected it to a name. Michael Joseph Blassie. In 2014, prosecutors didn't need witnesses or security cameras.
Yo, niggas out here scammers, bro. I'm trying, man. My legs looking something better.
Because they had thieves, thousands.
I don't know. Looks like I flashed some chips.
Despite living just 35 miles apart, Carter and Roy's relationship occurred almost entirely through text. So these are not pieces of their relationship. They're not evidence of the whole story. They are the whole story. These messages aren't missing the glances, the nods, the way he or she said it. This is all they each saw. And we have it all. An entire human relationship that happened as and still is undocumented documents. They're all online. Just a few tabs deep in the world's largest ocean of documentation. And we just keep filling it up, turning more and more of what we do and see into ghosts. Not just to remember, but to see. When we instinctively watch events through our phones, it's not that we aren't living in the moment. It's that we are. Today, to be in the moment, we have to be fully in the moment. Every part, even the eye, have to charge, and the mind you share with others. See, oh my god, this is stressing me the fuck out. I'm experiencing you, Joe. Alright, don't make it weird. No, but I'm understanding. I do get mad when people record
there you are, Captain. The finest field operative I have ever had the pleasure of coordinating.
But I try not to record in areas where it seems meaningful, but it has basically become like a social, it's a cultural thing that like you're kind of required to record your experiences. And not only to relive them, but other people can even see them. What's happening? We are not just getting more ghosts. We are beginning to live as ghosts, as an account of. We are beginning to live after. You lost esoteric knowledge of walking out, watching the ghosts in here are different. Nobody under 50 has logged out of their computer. Actually, turning up the TV out of the sleep mode. Us ghosts have not. I'll turn those. Oh, that's what they said. Nobody. Did they say nobody under 50 or above 50? Nobody under 50 has ever logged out of the computer. I have full shut off my computer. These ghosts as an infinite count a life of ghosts of you. It's crazy. Or spare humility. Yeah, it's always on sleep mode. You never, like, do you guys ever just full shut off your phone outside of, like, resetting it? The image is to be something. Frederick Douglass, yes, you'll blank your phone. Like, ran, for what? For what? Every night, so how do you wake up? You have an actual alarm clock? Do this. They had photographic images of themselves printed up to own and control and sell your own figure of ghost meant that you had power. But today, being a ghost surrounded by other ghosts causes a certain kind of newfangled anxiety. In his 1985 Amusing Ourselves to Death, Neil Postman describes what he calls information action ratio. Now, do you know this actually makes the World Wide Web? It is really written down. Let me ask you a modern question he asks here. How often does something you see on social media cause you
So, a multi-million-dollar question. What impulsive lurches did Mr. Rubio make after we robbed him last time? And will he ever learn? I think not. We use our usual entry point for reconnaissance. Light aircraft used by Mr. Rubio's smuggler teams. I have tracked such a plane on its most recent visit to Los Santos. Coordinates are with you now.
Yeah. Oh my god. That's like, you can remember watching YouTube videos, I couldn't tell you more than 10% of the TikToks I've seen in the last day. Like, today, I couldn't tell you. Like, if you go back into your, like, videos, you'll remember seeing them, but it's, like, actually a good video. Your mind shuts off while you're watching. Our minds want to be unsettled. A never-ending scroll of decontextualized movies, horror, comedy, family, Netflix isn't some unholy modern abomination of nature. It is exactly the niche we evolved to thrive in. No, for the fine grain of all to be buried in the truth. No, we evolved to reach the lushness of Southeast Asia and then cross the water line. Not because we had to, not because we could, but because what lay beyond was next, and we got on our way on. Hey, so let's build a few big boats, and we can sail it around three-colored boats. Huh? What's that? Oh, where will it take us? Away. We are not. Yeah, we're always striving for something else. I think it's also, even for earlier humans, not necessarily boredom, but just the curiosity and like the need to see and experience new things. That's why I think a lot of people are more depressed now than ever, because like most people are like stuck locked with 9 to 5 that they do. And having to like experience the same thing every day is like the universal experience. We are the universe born itself. We are the universe looking for something else. In order to be here for long, we needed to not be here for long. I don't think it's the risk or the challenge that motivates us. Good stories, curiosity, adventure are the icing on the cake we really desire unsettledness. Not knowing what's going to happen next. Why? And in the same way that long necks were selectively dressed, no one refused to wear IDs, and in the same way that white fur was selectively polar males because no one refused snow, imagination was selectively human because no one refused possibility. As such, it's realistic. Oh my god. As some, it's realistic. My God,
You have got the plane. Good. Now, Fly south. Then keep flying south until you hear the sound of the angry blonde Colombian on Tropical Beach. Coordinates are with you now. Disguises should be in back of plane. You can change on the way. And leave your weapons. Mr. Rubio will not trust smugglers. The guards will shoot you on sight if you are armed.
Now, sure, binge watching TV, there's still right? You should also start to research something different. Like, cognitive nature will go on adventures online and try to get yours on ourselves and never results. But unlike the journey of our ancestors, there's so much less enjoy. We can witness and interact. Same thing with home. Like pieces of luggage being moved at light speed without gives you that adventure and that pleasure without fear of like you still have that heartbeat factor, but it's not the fear of you don't know anymore and that like you're not going to die until you crash into the bodies. That way adventure. Internet is a vast choice and abilities. Bushes that spin us around but don't move us anymore. And wishes not strong enough to inspire action. We're not abusing ourselves to protect. We're abusing ourselves to what? Stay awful. Scary. And as always, it's a pleasure. Wow. Another fucking year was happening. I just stared at it. The button stays locked down, cannot change its longitude. PR low P1. I'm going to look at it. I'll see if it is. Space is way scarier than you think.
On February 7th, 1984, 317 miles above Earth, Bruce McCandless pushed away from the space shuttle and into the astrophysics, taking the largest first step in human history.
Hello there.
I get mad jealous of these people so much more than like any billionaire. And I know I do well financially, but I'm even saying prior to me doing social media, I think being able to be someone that I would love the job of an astronaut. I feel like that's a really stressful job. But I would love to be able to experience like standing on the fucking moon and looking up and seeing Earth. And if you're the only person, or you and maybe the other people in your fucking spaceship or pod, the only people that are on the planet right now, in terms of like actually being somewhere else, if you guys have the option, would you?
So, the multi-million-dollar question. What impulsive purchase did Mr. Rubio make after we robbed him last time? And will he ever learn? I think not. We use our usual entry point for reconnaissance. Right aircraft used by Mr. Rubio's smuggler teams. I have tracked such a plane on its most recent visit to Los Santos. Coordinates are with you now.
Everything that you know about it is gone at that point. Like you're repopulating because another planet. Yeah, they're just sending new people every time to time. I feel like the new kid got the class. You and 12 people have been on fucking Mars for the last year. They send a new shipment of people. You're like, let's get the check. Things run a little bit different here. We play fucking Fortnite 1,000 games. Like I watched
Neil Armstrong's small step was a giant leap for mankind. Bruce McCandless's first test of the manned maneuvering unit was a plunge into infinity. Space is big, in size, obviously, but also in the way that it stirs our imaginations. The very concept of nothing.
I love walking outside, middle of the night, going somewhere where it's not too bright, looking out, you see the stars, bro, just hit a fat inhale, like it's so fucking weird. And you only gotta do it for like 10 seconds. You're gonna have like the most existential thoughts of your life in that moment. You're gonna be like,
It's hard to build a process. And space is amazing. It's potentially infinite limits. But at the same time, teeming with monstrous structures and energies beyond human comprehension. Filaments made up of thousands of clusters of galaxies, each with hundreds of billions of stars. Areas of space.
and you can't fucking realize that though. Like you can't conceptualize there being an infinite universe. Like that's not possible. I'm not saying that's not possible that it is real. I'm saying it's impossible for me to fully grasp the genuine vastness of space and how small we are in comparison to everything else.
It's so dense and massive that the rules of physics entirely break down. And yet, when we look outside, we only see the very closest stars. All the rest of it is just out there, in the darkness.
The closest stars, they're not even that close. I just one app where I pointed up to the sky and you can click on stars and they'll give you info about them. There's so many stars that are like fucking 1,000 light years away. 40, even close ones, like 40 light years away. The light that you're seeing right now is 40 years old. From before you were born.
And elders for. And despite that, or maybe because of it, we feel inexplicably drawn to it. From our earliest days, we explored the infinite darkness, we use the stars to navigate, to guide our planetary lives. We invented our gods and mythologies of the patterns we saw. We may not have known what about it, but we knew it was important. We invented eye-enhancing telescopes.
I love that too. How the physical Earth has changed so much over the last, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 years. Well, when you look up at the sky, you're effectively looking up at the same exact, almost the exact thing that your ancestors from 30,000 years ago were thinking about. Yes, without, pollution or light pollution, they would have seen more, but it's the same sky.
Those that reached through the darkness, found monstrous worlds we didn't even know existed. And now in the modern era, we've taken our first tentative steps into that.
Fly south.
Packaging
Then
ourselves.
keep flying south until you hear the sound of the angry blonde Colombian untravelable beach. Coordinates are with you now. Disguises should be in back of plane. You can change on the way. And leave your weapons. Mr. Rubio will not trust smugglers. The guards will shoot you on sight if you are armed.
floating in the middle of the Pacific. Astrophobia is computer space, or astronomologics. Astro from the Greek astron, meaning star, and phobia from the Greek phobos, meaning fear. So,
Are you guys scared of aliens? I'm a bit scared of like aliens. More so the thought that we could have existed forever and infinitely exist in this the effect that you never be able to use like an egg is fucking.
technically, astrophobia is the fear of stars. They include space and celestial objects as well. Objects like, say, the Mars moon Phobos. We literally have an object in the solar system named Theia. If someone from a city who rarely sees stars goes to the country or dark sky territory, they might find the amazing full lit night sky and be overwhelmed. Even very happy. They might say that perspective.
I find it fascinating. I think when you go from a city to the middle of fuck snow, like literally where you like walk out there 5 miles and you look up at the night sky, oh my god. Like you guys live in areas like that where you can just look up at the night sky and see genuinely thousands of stars. I think that is awesome. Like being able to just not have to deal with like light pollution.
Such a vegetable. A believer in astrology might be very nervous on days when Mercury goes into retrograde. This could be introduction. Or the old idea that people go mad under a full moon, turning them into human beings. That's vegetable. In the ancient times, comets were thought to be harbingers of disaster. In fact, that's where the word comes from. Disaster. That star. And there's another type of vegetable. One that's not specific to an object or a superstition, but something much deeper. The kind of cosmic existentials. Have you ever laid in the grass on a clear night and just took in the sky, just let it wash over you, try to become perfect? The strange sensations that you're not actually looking up, you're looking down. Below you, you're dropped into an infinite void, and the only thing keeping you from falling is the fact.
I wouldn't say that I've ever looked at the sky and felt as if I'm looking down. I think I've looked at the sky for so long, laying down, that I felt as if I'm not even centralized as a being, rather kind of just existing in like a weird TV. I've had that feeling of life in general where you're kind of watching your life unfold, not actually being the person that's controlling it. But I'm talking micro-specific, scenario here. You're just looking in the sky. It's like your eyes aren't even open. Like you're just staring at lights.
The fact that you're stuck to the ground like that. This shift in perspective is a bit of a transformative experience, and I recommend everybody to have it at some point in their lives. Certain
Paren,
chemicals
esperen ahí.
can help them along.
Fue que Chuazo be on time for once,
But
eh?
that perspective is
Arms
a bit
out,
more
let's go.
accurate. In space, there really is no up. There is no down. It's just
Okay, get over there. We'll bring it soon. Go on.
It's up, down, left, and right, forward, backwards. That's only relative.
Just because you are disguised as smuggler does not give you free access. As soon as you leave airstrip, be careful. If guards see you in wrong place and get a proper look at you, they will not give you a chance to explain yourself.
Any correction or no correction, because it's all relative to where you are. Like if I was upside down in space, obviously that. Then like flips the other way, obviously that's opposite direction. But it's still you're correct. It's still correct when you say that's opposite.
out in all directions. Correct. And the only thing keeping you from falling into it is this invisible force called gravity, which we still don't really understand. And it's a good thing, because if you were to ever go out in any of those forever directions,
I know gravity is like proven by physics. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, the Earth's flat with a fucking ice wall. But it is confusing that the more matter or mass something has, it starts attracting objects to it by its sheer mass. And that's true of anything. Like even people or small objects just go into something they don't realize. But if you were in empty space, you would have gravitational pull.
you'd be dead after 5 miles. That's it. That is as far as a human can go in that direction without breathing. 5 miles. 8 kilometers. You could walk that distance in a little over an hour. Nothing. And everything you find will kill you. surface. And even on that land, only 43% of it is habitable. The rest will kill you with oppressive heat, extreme cold, and choking forests.
Earth can kill you, which is why I really don't like a lot of the horror movies where they go to an alien planet. They're like, oh, the competition of the air every time you go to a fucking planet, I understand it has life, but like, it's the same fucking nitrogen on its fucking carbon level at Earth, or I just fucking
In a million different ways. You can dehydrate, drown, fall off a cliff, get hit by lightning, consumed by fire, consumed by a lion, or tiger, or bear. You can eat the wrong berry, have the wrong scent. Or get bitten by the
The
wrong
sole
bug.
access point to the network will be the same this
You
time.
can get blown up by a
Signal box
volcano.
may have moved. Check high and check low.
oh wow, that's cool octopus. It has like little blue rings.
No. Or breathe a toxic gas. Catch a disease from a rat. Or have a small number of blood cells clot up and travel to your brain. Or just wait long enough. One way or the other, the Earth always wins. Nobody has ever survived Earth. And yet, it's the only place in our solar system we can survive. If you teleported to the surface of Mercury, you would lose consciousness within 20 seconds for lack of oxygen. In the vacuum of space, your skin would boil,
I have
gases
connection.
in your blood,
You can
flash
use
into
it with
bubbles,
the app on
like
your
a
phone
carbonated
right now.
soda.
What do we
If you
have
teleported to
here?
the sun side, your body would bake
Let's
on a
have a look
300
in the
degree
vault room.
surface.
In the
If you're on the
basement.
shadow side, it's immediate frostbite at negative 290 degrees.
That big of a difference. Holy fucking shit, dude. 800 degrees negative
Oh,
290.
do you see there? In the display case. Bottle of Sensamito. Antique tequila. So strong you wake up next day with mix of an accent. Diamond encrusted edition too. This will fetch us the price we need.
Because the colder something is, the accent.
Getting through the case would be a challenge. Use the wrong tool and you destroy what is inside. I will do some research.
How cold can something get? Like, I don't know what that max is. Absolute zero is negative 459.67 Fahrenheit. Maybe that's a sign, though. 6-7 mean max coldness, negative 459.67. That's really good.
If you went to the surface of Venus, you wouldn't have time to suffocate from the lack of oxygen because you would immediately burst into flame from the 867-degree air temperature, while simultaneously being crushed by an atmospheric pressure 92 times higher than here on Earth. It would basically be like the Titan submersible, but on fire. On Mars, you might have a relatively warm day, but you'd still suffocate. There's only 1% of our air pressure there, and almost none of it is oxygen. So you get the worst
Remember,
case
the
within the
guards think you
imaginable.
are nothing but a filthy smuggler.
Teleporting
You
to the
break the
surface of
rules too
Jupiter
many
would be
times, they
difficult
break you
because
one
there's no
time.
real
There's no
surface.
need to do
I
it
can't
again.
fathom that either. That always fucks with my brain. I think that's a big, like, oh shit moment when you're a kid, when you realize, like, when they're like, oh, that planet's gaseous. What do you mean? Like, I can't stand on the planet? The planet's huge. It's just all it's just a gas bubble.
Just thick atmosphere that gets thicker as you go down until it turns into liquids and solids and states of matter we don't even understand.
Yeah, there is a core.
And you would basically just fall until you were crushed into a diamond. Somewhat the same thing on Saturn, but breathing the ammonia clouds would scorch your lungs first.
I have a feeling
Estimating
Mr.
Uranus is
Rubio
so
has
far away from
very
the
good
sun that the hydrogen
marijuana. Will
atmosphere
fetch a
cools
good
it down.
price.
That's why they're
Market
called
location.
ice which is what you would be within seconds of going there. At negative 371 degrees, your body doesn't freeze, it vitrifies. Basically turns into glass. Our sense of scale about space is completely skewed because you can't really image it. To show it remotely at scale, you wouldn't really...
Yeah, whenever they show that, that's like way off what it actually is.
Our sense of scale about...
How do they know the temperature? Well, unlike Mars, I know they can use rovers and shit.
Remember, you are not a pack
How do they know
There's
the
only so much you
temperature
can carry.
of
You want more?
Mercury and
Bring
other
friends.
planets? I mean, they do have satellites, but certainly not how. There has to be like a mathematical way. Yeah, they throw out a thermometer. They get a COVID meter out there.
Space is completely skewed because
They send a guy out with one of those things that, and he goes to the surface of the planet. He goes,
you can't really image it.
It's all made up. It's all made up. Yeah, it's Charles a fake. Charles a fake. Devil's lying to you. They put fucking weird shit in the cap
water to fucking keep you content with your current situation.
To show it remotely at scale, you wouldn't really be able to see anything. It takes 8 minutes for light to travel from the sun to the Earth. It takes light about 8 hours to reach the outer edge of the Kuiper belt beneath our solar system. So one light day is 3 times longer than the radius of our solar system. One light year is 365 times that long. Our closest star is 2.24 light years away. Polaris is around 450 light years away. The farthest star that you can see with the naked eye is B762.
Wow! With your naked eye in the sky, you can see light that's 16,000 years old.
That's Sophia.
Should the light be from that star left that star before the human civilization?
Supergiant star approximately 16,000 light years away. While looking at the Milky Way, we sit about halfway between the center and the edge. If we went to the edge, it would be 25 to 28,000 light years, making the radius of the Milky Way about 50,000 light years, roughly 100,000 light years. These distances are ridiculous.
The coolest thing is when if you have somewhere with such low light pollution, you can actually see our galaxy in the sky, which is fucking crazy. I haven't been to that, but it was when I was in Wyoming, and I had gone to like a really low light pollution area, and when I tell you this was the coolest fucking photo I've ever taken in my life, and it's not even close. You can literally see, I took this in. You can literally see the fucking galaxy. Like, you see how dense it is right here? I took out my phone with like the 10-second timer.
That's nothing compared to the distance between galaxies. The closest galaxy is Andromeda, which is 2.5 million light years away, 25 times the length of our galaxy. We're part of the local group of galaxies, roughly 10 million light years across. And that is inside the Virgo supercluster, which contains 100 galaxy clusters.
One of Mr. Rubio's smuggler crews has been caught. This is good news for 2 reasons. First, it will annoy him very much. Second, we can seize their boat and use it to approach the island as if we were one of his own. The police have not taken it to secure location yet. It is still on a trailer outside the station. React quickly, we can just drive it away.
It's a galaxy filament of billions.
Like, now you lost it. Now you lost it. Just we're doing the zoom out shit. That's like the 5th fucking like galaxy. I'm already on Danvers. Then we go supercluster. Now we're in some shit that's a billion light years across.
At this scale, the cosmos.
How do we know that? You can see with crazy ass telescopes. That's like all of this.
The boat is still on a trailer. You can simply tow it away. I have sent you coordinates for some vehicles you could use to do this.
14 up. I think both are fucking terrifying to not know what else is out there and whether or not it's wanting to kill us or peaceful or knows more. I think if it was just us, that would be, or just us, is a hell of a lot scary. I think we're not, there's no shot in hell we're not. There's life in the outside of it. And whether or not that life is considerably intelligent. It's not that life is fairly common. Building blocks of life are very common. They've been on Earth for a long time. And they're on many asteroids and other things. We know acid chains and other parts and building blocks of life are free. It's just when they combine is rare. But when they combine, create life, and then that life evolves to what the fuck we are, that's really unimaginable. It's what the universe did to. So, that son of a bitch! How we life out there, I'm as far as fuck. I think nowhere near us. I think we find dice too in other areas, but it's like that here, which is in terms of as for scientists that fucking experiment on that more. But for an average everyday person, like we found life on type. Look at this, and it's a fucking petri dish, and it's just a fucking bacteria. I'd be like, okay.
If the universe is teeming with life, that would mean that it's filled with potential hidden threats all around.
You found the truck.
But it would also
Excellent.
mean that
Attention to trailer, boat is yours.
we do not
Building
have
cabinet.
some
Have you tried high-speed chasing the
we
truck?
are not the universe
Very
experiencing.
exhilarating.
There's just a really thick organic chemistry that happens at that time. What do you mean?
I think we're like an anomaly that has fun. I think we are I would say not meant to, but I don't think it's at the level that it's expected to be. There's not really supposed to be anything, because I don't think there's enough goal or requirement, but I think it's very odd that we have the level of capability that we do, that other animals could have even get a shit at. How do you expect that? We are developing a language from the fact that we have a huge brain to our body. Over the course of that made them saw, like deer or other animals that they would hunt or things that they would bring in. And then zero stage meaning started to have people's hands. They would draw themselves in their face or whatever. Like they would go from drawing and mapping the world around them to themselves. And then when language started, religion started to develop, society, thinking, and philosophy comes in.
In Russia, we said that it is easy to steal the fridge, but hard to buy from this. This works just as well for boat trailer, I think. Deliver the boat to the docks. I have contact who will get it ready and keep it safe. I have already found disguises. Your own mother would think you were a transfer. Although in your case, Captain, she would be correct. Perhaps a conversation for another
Such a
time.
waste of space, it feels unreal. Perhaps. What if this really is just a massive alien to explore the virtual universe? Figure out what we want to see. The Hubble took its deep field photo, pointing at a tiny dark patch of sky and finding thousands of galaxies. It didn't exist until we looked at it. Maybe the structure of the universe didn't exist until we figured out how to map the thousand million background information. Maybe you and I are just ones and zeros, but we tell as much as
So, Captain, you will do the final stage of this operation alone. Or will you bring accomplices? Yes, you must will be profit. There is more likely to be profit, and there will be more of you who carry more of it. You think about it, yes?
The term Greek culture speaks to the idea that basic life like single-cell bacteria might be common, but intelligent life encounters similar threats, and then it becomes bacteria. Some think the Greek filter occurs before intelligent life. For example, the evolution from single-cell organisms to multicellular organisms, that might be a Greek culture. After all, the Earth is 4.5 billion years old. A single-cell life began relatively early, some live around 500 million years.
Excellent work,
But
Captain.
when
Wow.
1.6 billion years ago that multicellular life arose on Earth, meaning it took 2.5 billion years for life to make that jump. Perhaps this is
Yeah, it's like the scaling of intelligence is rapid once it's there, but it's really hard to just get there to begin with. Like multicellular organisms is already rare, and then you get into like the philosophical filters, where it's like once you have multicellular organisms like us that are extremely intelligent, then we start killing each other, and now we can't even advance because we're dealing with problems within our own people rather than coming up with a common goal and strive for.
such a remarkably rare event that it could be considered a great filter. Others suggest the great filter is something that still awaits us, that encourages maybe because of a cataclysmic cosmic event, death of our star, some version of alien civilization engaging in dark forest usage.
Well, I say this all the time, and I fucking give a fuck. It is fun. We're here right now. Like, that's fucking, what the fuck? We're here right now. The fucking asteroid, the Earth was fucking created. A fucking asteroid hit the dinosaurs. Mammals fucking went underground, survived, and fucking evolved to another species, and then I fucking stutter, Chad. I don't give a shit. I'm stuttering when I come up with my fucking head, because I can't put the fucking thoughts, the words that are in my brain, the feeling that I have in my brain, of why, I'm not even why am I here? How am I fucking alive right now? I mean, the odds are here are 1 in a trillion. It's not even close. Not even that I'm a unicorn, I'm me. That humanity exists is so unimaginably low.
Or maybe because intelligent civilizations
And Chad only cares that I suck.
inevitably drain their own resources and wipe themselves out.
Shows you the type of, ways some people are on.
Perhaps intelligence isn't the ultimate goal of evolution, but a mutation of it.
I mean, get that stuff. Like, at a time like this, like a deep shit, I'm trying to make a point of something, and I'm physically unable to put my thoughts to words. And God, you're fucked!
That's right. Metastasis that requires an unsustainable consumption of resources that inevitably dies out. All of this is an
How do you not care? I can't get past that, bro. The average person doesn't give a shit about any of this.
a dramatic way of saying that maybe intelligent civilization.
You look like you're fuming. Best time to make weaponry decisions.
This is the only thing that fucking matters. The only thing.
It's the time of the universe. The two are fundamentally linked after all. The average lifetime of a species here on Earth is between 5 and 10 million years. Intelligent life might fare better, or it might fare worse. But we can give ourselves the benefit of it.
The average species is 5 to 10 million years.
Now, let's just say we last 10 million years. In the 13.8 billion year history of the universe, that is a line so thin, you can barely see it on the screen. Even if life was common, even if intelligent life were common, even if every single star system in the universe were capable of creating intelligent life at some point before that star system dies out, it is entirely plausible that all of those civilizations rose, conquered, and ended at different windows in the universe, and never knew that
I met
any of
this
the
girl
others
last
ever
night.
existed.
She was like, wow, you're actually
Oh my god, yeah. Like, there's theories that people have that other intelligent life existed on Earth and then got wiped out, and then we're here and we're kind of taking their place. I don't believe in that, but I could fully believe in a great filter of other intelligent life has existed and will exist in the future in other places, but the ones that haven't before us, 95% of them have died off entirely, and /or they are so far away that we just can't interact with them currently, and there's still potential of extinction.
We, in our tiny, inconsequential oasis of the universe, are only here for a fleeting amount.
The average person is dumber than you think. I don't think the average person is dumber than I think. I think the average person doesn't give a shit about anything.
It's the best in supermarkets. On Valentine's Day in 1990, the Voyager 1 space